G'day and welcome back to Duxilla Gaming and Riverview Farm. That's right, we are back at Riverview and we are having great fun here, and we're just going to continue on with it. Alright, just a bit of a recap for those you may be joining very late in the series. This map is by Cavalier Roy. It is the first version of the map too. There has been an updated version which did improve quite a lot of things. However, we didn't change up to that because we were already set in the series. It is available on the in-game mod hub, so go check it out. Alright, now let's get into this. Now, I've just got here a new implement. So thanks to our good mate Ronald, one of our members and subscribers, this is an update to the windrow we've been using recently. So this is the T1600 version, and it's in a trailer configuration. So I'm just going to go in the shop quickly and just show you. So this is it here, the RTT 160. Now this is a 16 meter. In fact, I'll go back out of there. I'll go in the actual store to show you because it's going to be much easier. It's has variable widths that we can buy. Now, there's the front windrow we had previously, and now we've purchased this trail one. Now, as you saw previously in some of our other series, when we're using this one here, this goes on the front of the tractor. Then when you're doing tight turns, the trailer or the loading wagon or whatever behind you that you're using, or baler, sometimes misses the trailed swath because you're actually turning around through the swath. This may alleviate that. This is a trail, so this goes between the trailer, between the tractor and the trailed implement, whether it be the loading wagon or the baler or whatever else. So we're going to give this a go. Okay. So that's what we've got. So we've with these there are a few options. Most notably though, there's the RTR 100, which is a 10.3 meter. There's the RTT 120, which is a 12 meter. The RTT 160, which is what we're using on this particular instance, is 16 meters. And then there's an RTT 200, which is 20 meters. So we're going to give this a go. And if it fails, I'm going to blame Ronald. If it works well, I'm just going to say thank you. Right. Anyway, all that aside, that's what we've got going on there. All right. Now, what have we got going on? I'm still waiting, if I bring up my map, I'm still waiting for this abomination of a field here to finish coming into harvest. This last little section, I'm not going to bother harvesting this until that's done. Now, I have got fields that are ready to sow, 42, 18, 19, 14, 12, so we need to get in and get that done. I haven't got any other fields ready for harvest. I have got fields growing, but none ready for harvest. However, what I wanted to do as well is I've been talking a lot about buying these fields here, haven't we? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy these fields, but I'm going to start off by buying field 28. So I'm going to buy that. There we go. I'm going to buy field 14. That leaves us with a balance of $66,000. 143,000 for that one, not buying that one. And this one here, field 6, which has got all this extra land up here, which I don't know if it's usable or not. I'll have to check that out. It's 402,000. But that just starts tying in all this area. So there you can see how much of the map we actually own. We're starting to really get to conquering the map in that regard. So that's fine. Okay. All right. That's what we're going to do there. Now, because of the fact we don't have that harvest to do, as I said, we're going to go on and we're going to get some seeding done. So I'm going to go over here and grab a tractor. We'll grab Big Blue. And we'll go find a seeder and we'll go do some seeding. Now, I haven't really thought about any of the seeding, where I'm going to go, what I'm going to seed it with. We're just going to grab the seeder and just go. Right. This is, I think this is the Veda stat here. Grab this one. I don't know whether it's full or not. We'll find out very quickly. Can you not collect? Oh, actually, do it every time, don't I? Right, there we go. Now I can connect. All right. 63%. I think we might go and fill up. Right. Oh, that's what I was going to do as well, wasn't it? All right, I want to do another change in here. I want to go in here, construction. All right. Now, these multi-buying stations are fine. However, they're just not up to it all the time. So what I want to do is I want to do this. Is it in container, tools? Can't remember where it is. Silo extensions. It's not silo extensions, silos. Actually, have I got it enabled even? No, I haven't got it enabled, by the way. No, I haven't got it. I want to add something in here so I can buy products, but I haven't enabled them, so I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to have to do that later. Anyway, what it entails is basically putting in buy points here at the side of the shed. So we'll do that off camera probably at some point, and get that up and running. But in the meantime, we'll come over here and we'll play the gambit of the will you load or not. There we go, got it first time. Right. Okay, let's go off and find a field to seed. In fact, let's do the one that's closest to us right here. So, what are we going to seed? We've got wheat. I think we might put wheat on this one here. Alright, so let's just mosey on down here. Go, put the cover back on. All right, I think we're ready to go. So let's turn it on and get into our seeding. All right, there we go, off and running. All right, excellent. So yeah, so we've got to get a few fields seeded. We've got one field waiting to fully come into harvest. And we shouldn't be too far off. And then, yeah, we can go off and harvest some grass from those two new fields, and continue to prep from there. So things are looking up. We're on the go. I hope you're doing well. We are doing well. It's we're recording this one. It's just a couple of days before it's going to be released. We've caught up on some videos, so some we've got stockpiled up, other ones we don't. This series we haven't, so I'm about to do some recording for these today. It's just gone past Australia Day here in Australia. It's the Saturday after Australia Day. So I'd like to wish all my compatriot Aussies a happy belated Australia Day. Hope you had a wonderful time. And for those of you that aren't in Australia, well, too bad. Your loss. Right. Moving right along. We're just going to continue getting this seeded. Now we have talked about, I'm not sure if we talked about it in this season, there's a possibility we might move to the 16 times Western Australia map. I am playing with it at the moment. I haven't spent a lot of time in there. I am mucking about with setting up and stuff like that. I will provide more details of that as we go along later on. Obviously not necessarily this episode, but that's a possible new series. Now, at the moment, I've gone through and I'm roughing in a test change to the farm, also which is only minor, and an equipment configuration and layout. Let me know whether that may interest you. It will definitely be and I've said this I think on Orm Creek or Southern Cross or something, it will definitely be a go big or go home, because it is a 16 times map. We're going to need lots of equipment. So for those of you that like realistic play and starting out small, that series won't be for you. We will be starting off with a huge loan and a pile of equipment we'll probably already own. In the vicinity of $10 million loan is probably the minimum. So like for instance, at the moment, I've got it set up to start with 6 combines, so that just gives you an idea of the size we're looking at. But yeah, so let me know what you think down below in the comments. Is that a map you would like to see us play? Obviously, in that scenario, we would use the Australian JFL tippers. We would use as much of the Australian type equipment as we possibly could. Not there's a hell of a lot out there, and we would also use brands and equipment that's actually generally seen more here in Australia. Definitely won't be John Deere, because we have got Southern Cross, which is exclusively pretty much playing John Deere. So you know that I don't like even saying that word, or those words. So yeah, don't expect to see that green brand in that series. However, we will be using things like the Case and the New Holland and all that sort of stuff. But anyway, all that aside, I'd be interested to see your thoughts as to whether you'd like to see a 16 times map. Now, a lot of it will be course play managed. We'll be just doing the interseeding part, so things like the harvest and that. You will have 3, 4, 6 combines running on a field, and we'll just be doing the manual unloading of it and stuff like that. We won't be running a fully autonomous layout and plan. Certainly not at this stage. I don't plan to do that. But that's what we're looking at doing. So it's up to you guys. Is that something you'd be interested in, or do I keep on looking for another map? Like I said, I haven't decided 100%, and I do also need to look at finding alternatives to the maps we've currently got. Certainly for Elm Creek and Hawk Belleron, because they're in the 100+ zone now. They're not going to last forever, even though I'm still really enjoying the gameplay I've got on those. I know that interest in those may be wavering, so yeah, I'll be looking at getting rid of those. Although I must say, the interest has slowly grown, particularly Hawk Belleron. That's becoming more and more viewed as we go along. So, which is good. Anyway, we'll consider that and see where we go with those. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below in relation to playing Western Australia 16 times. Sorry, 16 times. All right, here we go. Oh, I didn't line myself up very well there at all, did I? Right, well, we'll fix that. Got a course loaded, do I? Yeah, I do. There we go. Clear that off. Alright, so just tidy this in right here, and then we're going to start doing what we're talking north-south runs. In fact, once we finish this row here, we'll have to go get some seed, because we're almost out of seed. Lucky we checked that now instead of running out getting the other end of the field, so that's good. Our robot's heading off to feed our cows. Need to check to see if we need any feed for the cows. Looking a little bit empty, so we may have to fix up the cows. In fact, we may end up putting this guy up on the AI. Got a hired hand to run him as we yeah, we definitely need hay and some straw. So I have to look at giving him a top up. Manure, we emptied the manure out recently, so there's not a lot of manure there, which is good. Right, through. See if we can be lucky and fill this first time in. Oh, that little hedge. Just don't get rid of it. There we go. Excellent. Righto. There we go. I'm going to divert a little bit actually and have a bit of a gripe about hardware at the moment. I recently went out and bought, what is it? The Logitech G502 Lightspeed and the charging mouse pad. Well, I've had it now for about 3 months, 4 months, and already it's given up the ghost. It doesn't want to charge. It says it's charging, but it's obviously not, because the mouse keeps on running out of power and just is a pain in the ass. So for the money that was spent on it, which I think all up was about $400 Australian for the mouse pad and the mouse, I'm just going to say right here, right now, that don't bother, because it's a waste of time and money. In relation to hardware, I'm currently using a Steel Series. Which one is it? I can't remember. The 601. I can't remember what it is. I'm not going to say what it is because I just don't remember. Quite a good mouse. It's just a stock standard wired mouse. Now, I have played with Logitech on and off for many years. I mean, Logitech were probably one of the first to come out with gaming peripherals very early on. And I've had the G513 keyboard, I think it was. I've had a whole pile of their gaming keyboards, and they were all reasonably good. And just progressed over the years to different keyboards and stuff, but generally they were okay. And generally, historically, their mice have been okay. I use one of their Ergo trackballs for work and for home when I'm not gaming, and find them really good. But this G502, from my interest at the moment, I wouldn't touch it again with a barge pole. I'm very disappointed. I am going to see about getting it returned. But let me know whether you've got the same mouse and the charging pad and your experiences with it. I'd be interested to know. I'm not necessarily going to become a hardware reviewing channel in any way, shape or form, but I will let you know what I think of the products I am using. And to be honest, it's left a sour taste in my mouth, and I don't think I'll go back to Logitech again. I've had on and off difficulties with other brands like Steel Series. I've had nothing but problems with their headsets generally, which is unfortunate. I like their headsets, but more often than not, they just fail, or they fall apart, or whatever. And insofar as, in fact, what I should do is I should actually put I will do this. I should put a hardware list. I'll put it on Discord of what hardware I'm using and the accessories. The other like moving away from Logitech and mice and keyboards. So yeah, the most recent purchase was the Stream Deck Plus from Elgato. So I've previously had the Stream Deck Extra Large, I've got the Elgato Wave. I've got the Elgato Wave mic arm, all that sort of stuff. And I also had a little box called PC Panel. Now, PC Panel it was a fantastic find at the time. It's a small box, accessory box, which has a number of sliders on it, 4 sliders on it, and I think it's 5 rotary dials at the top. It is fully RGB, and it's what I was using to control all my audio channels and other things like that. So with the Elgato Wave system, I have multiple sound channels. So I have a system, game, browser, voice chat, and the PC Panel allowed me to independently assign a slider to each of those, so I could adjust the sound levels and mute or whatever else at the push of a button, basically. And that was fantastic. I've had that for 18 months or so. When it first came out, I basically jumped on that, and it's been great. No nonsense. It's fantastic. Now, and I was using that when I had the Rodecaster mic, and I was using the Accelerate XLR connections and stuff, and I was using the Go XLR. But when the Go XLR failed, again, something that I wasn't overly happy with for an expensive piece of kit, we went to the Wave eventually, and with the way the Elgato Wave Link software works, it tied in perfectly with the PC Panel. Now, with the Stream Deck Plus, which is their newest release, which has 8 programmable buttons at the top, and it has a interactive LCD or LED screen, which is touch sensitive, and 4 dials at the bottom. Now, with that, I've done the same thing. So I've set up my dials in A mode. You set up numerous modes, and I mean, other people are going to explain this and showcase it much better than I. But I've got numerous dials there, which I've got assigned to doing all my, at the moment in the screen I'm on, it does all my volume. So rotating the dial will adjust the volume up and down, and then the screen above it actually has those set there as well. And if I touch that, it actually will mute the channel. Now, that works fantastic, and then I've got the functions of the Stream Deck buttons above it as well. Fantastic, working great, really love it. It's probably the best part, and I mean, going into things like Adobe Premiere and Illustrator and stuff like that, I've got it set to do different things, like one of the dials I can use that to shuttle, so go forward and back on the timeline. Another one to increase and decrease the amount of the timeline I'm seeing in the editing area. So all that sort of stuff. So you've got all those. So that's a great addition. It really is, to offset the negativity about the Logitech. So, I mean, to date, I've had very little issues with any of the Elgato stuff. Sometimes you get a bit of a bug and the software will hang up and stuff like that. But I mean, that's not necessarily Elgato. That's probably more likely Windows more than anything else. But apart from that, it's running perfectly. I really do enjoy it, and the Elgato stuff is fantastic. So yeah. Anyway, so there you go. I've talked a negative bit about hardware, and I've ended on a positive. So there you go. But yeah, so I do like my Stream Deck Plus. Yeah, so that's all good. All right, we'll get back to the farming now. I'll stop trying to do hardware reviews. But like I said, we will. I will put a list up of all the hardware I'm using, including the PC specs and everything else like that, on Discord. So if you're interested with that, you can check it out on Discord. I may add it into the YouTube videos as well, to the bottom of the YouTube videos, but yeah, we'll see. I did have affiliate links for Amazon at one point. Not that I buy a lot of my stuff from Amazon, but unfortunately, because no one bought from Amazon affiliate links, I lost that. So you had to buy to have activity on it or something. But anyway, Hopefully someone like my local dealership of Scorptech or something like that may end up sponsoring me at some point. Unlikely, but anyway, they're my go-to. So Scorptech here in Sydney are my go-to, and the guys at the Macquarie Park store are fantastic. So not that any of them will probably be watching this, but shout out to them. They are a great bunch of guys to go in there anytime you've got any trouble or whatever else. Yeah, it's become my favoured place to buy. So yeah, so that's what we do. I mean, obviously, we're not in the luxury of being in the US where we can go to what the hell is that superstore? I know Jay's 2 Cents uses it a lot. PC, it doesn't matter. So we haven't got a superstore like type thing. I mean, Scorptech is sort of like that, but on a lot smaller scale. We don't really have anything really big like that, like effectively a Walmart just of PC stuff here in Australia. Plus the fact with the difference in the dollar, the cost of having all that stock would be huge. Particularly when you look at things like the 40 series graphics cards. My God, I mean we're talking to buy a PC here in Australia at the moment with a 4080 or a 4090. You're talking about starting at $5,000, $6,000. Effectively, it's the days of buying a top end machine here in Australia for 4 or 5 grand. Nah. It's gone. Yeah, and I know there's a lot of people I've spoken to, like work colleagues and stuff like that, who are gamers. They've now just decided that they're going to concentrate purely on console because the pricing of the hardware of the PC market has just become out of reach now. I mean, yes, you can argue that you could buy you can certainly buy 3080s or whatever else and all that, but and it's cheaper to run from there, and granted it is, but if most people certainly are like me, you like to, when you buy it, you like to buy the best you possibly can, and to buy the best you possibly can at the moment, you've got to spend minimum of $3,000 on the graphics card alone. And that's just ridiculous. It used to be the CPU was the dearest part of your PC, whereas now that's way gone. It's let alone having 2 GPUs. But hey, but anyway, that's it. Enough hardware speak. We don't normally talk about hardware here. If you do like to hear my thoughts in relation to that, that's fine. But it's not something we plan on doing a lot of. I just thought I'd let you know. I do generally mention anytime I do get a new piece of hardware or whatever else. I am actually looking actively at the what is it, the Logitech Pro, even though I've said I'm probably going to steer away from Logitech, their new steering wheel. I am looking at that. So, but again, that's $2,000 retail, one of those. So yeah, probably unlikely at this stage to justify that amount of money. Noting that I've just run out of seed. Noting that we don't make a lot of money from this channel, and being able to justify spending that amount of money just throw away for a wheel, it's probably not going to happen anytime real soon. But anyway, if there's a shop out there that like Scorptech or the Gamesman or something that they feel like they want to sponsor the channel and pony up a new Logitech steering wheel, then hey, let me know. Anyway, right, but insofar as hardware and upgrades and stuff go, that's probably the next wish. I may be doing a bit of an upgrade to the PC in the near future, which will probably be centered around CPU, motherboard, and RAM. But we'll see. I'm not 100% committed to that as yet. CPU I probably don't need to upgrade. But I do want to get a motherboard that will support DDR5 and get some DDR5. My motherboard, I'm still running a Z, what is it, 590. and I've only got DDR4, and the RAM I've got is only 33,000 megahertz RAM because I can't get anything higher to run on the motherboard, which is very disappointing as a separate entity altogether. Yet again, another problem. However, I don't have a problem with the motherboard brand and the motherboard itself. It's just that I can't get the RAM to work properly. So I do have a set of 4400 megahertz RAM sitting here that I bought for the computer and for this motherboard, but unfortunately it just will not work, even though it is certified to work with this particular board. But anyway, that's an aside. So what I do want to do is run a PC that's got some faster RAM, and that should get a bigger performance hit. So certainly running about double the speed of the RAM should make a big difference. Anyway, that's it. All right, we've chatted on about hardware enough today. It's brought us to the end of the episode. We've almost finished this field now. So we will come back in the next episode. We'll continue on with some seeding. We'll probably get some lawn mowing done, some grass mowing, and move on to some other stuff without the hardware diatribe. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Let me know down below, like I said, about two things. You can let me know about what you think about the options of running Western Australia map 16 times, and also let me know about your hardware and your hardware issues and stuff like that. Have you had the same problem with the G502 or anything else like that? So let me know your thoughts down below. Definitely interested to hear them. But don't worry, like I said, we're not going to become a hardware review and discussion channel, unless you want to. But, hey. All right, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. We are on the road to 5,000 subs. Can't believe that. But anyway, slow and steady wins the race apparently. But yeah, please consider pressing that subscribe button. If you do press that, make sure you press the alarm notification icon. Make sure you press that like button as well. That helps out the channel a heap. And of course, apart from anything else, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Back here at Duck Solar Gaming and Riverview Farm. See you all later. Bye.